We are back here on Carolina Women at Lava Fitness. Jessa, you have brought an incredible guest today.
I'm really excited that Lorrie is here because we're going to talk a little bit about fitness later in the show, but there's a lot of skin health, skin fitness that as we age, we need to be conscious of. So.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so Lorrie, I've known you for a while now.
I know.
And so she, of course, is a fantastic esthetician and is now back at actually Smith Plastic Surgery.
Yes, that's where we met before.
So yeah, I know, so full circle, so many fun things. Here's what's really cool though, I saw you over a decade ago because I was dealing with my own skin health issues and had acne growing up, and that left a lot of scarring, and you helped me with that a long time ago. But fast forward, technology has just exploded. So many cool things out on the market that make it like less downtime, less painful.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about what's new, what's happening.
Sure. So when we did your treatment before, we did erbium laser, which is a resurfacing laser, which basically ablates and removes tissue. And the reason that was really big then is because the original laser, CO2, ablated the tissue, but also heated it so deeply you'd have all this downtime.
Yeah.
So erbium lasers had less heat and less downtime. So that was sort of second generation.
What is ablation?
Sure. Ablation is basically when the laser takes and vaporizes and removes tissue. So be it
Got it.
everywhere, or it could be doing little pinpoints. And nowadays, with the technology, you could do like really superficial, almost like like light microdermabrasion, or
Sure.
someone could do like when they're having a facelift, a deep resurfacing where they'd have weeks and weeks of downtime.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, the lasers and the technology from before. I mean, I had to take a couple weeks off
Oh,
just
yeah.
to
Oh,
get
did you?
some
Okay.
basic
Yes.
results, and I got great results.
Yes.
But I'm really excited because now I want to learn about. So there's Helix fusion laser, which is new, and then you've got talk to us about all the things.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't know.
So with the newer lasers or the newer technology, you can control it a lot more. And so what we're doing is like what came out was CO2 Cool Peel. So Cool Peel's been really big, it's still big, and it's taking a CO2, which used to be like this deep, intense treatment, and you can do like superficial treatments, medium treatments, you can pixelate it and just take and remove little bits, but you're not getting that deep heat, which we sort of don't want because we don't want all that downtime. Then there are lasers that just heat and they don't remove tissue, and those provide heat. So what this is doing is combining the two. There's actually an optic inside the machine that allows you to put out that heat and control it in little columns, and then you can remove tissue on the surface and control it in little columns.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Since you and I'm 70.
You look
She's
great.
like 30. But
a baby.
are there different? Are there different? Well, but are there different? And your skin looks super young too.
Yes.
Are there different treatments for different age groups? If Jess and I would come in, would you recommend what would be best for me versus what would be best?
Yes, definitely.
Tell us about that.
Sure, so it's customized to your needs. So these lasers, these newer type lasers, modern lasers, are tunable, which means like anything, think of tuning anything. So I could take and say, oh, well, you don't want any downtime and you want some results. We might do a series of treatments that are less deep, but we're still heating the tissue and removing tissue. Or you might say, Lorrie, I'm gonna take a week off the camera, let's go for it. And I can tune it so it's more intense. And the same thing, her needs are gonna be different than yours.
What about a master plan? Would it make sense to come up with a master skincare plan that you?
Yes, definitely. We sort of did that the other day. We talked about
did you?
like what is our goal? What results do you want to see? What are your priorities? And then also like little things I might notice and say, okay, well, let's get on top of this. It looks great, but let's nip it in the bud. And so what do we do first? What do we do later? What do you do at home?
See, that's worth its weight in gold. That's why you go to a pro.
Well, and that's why you don't just call and make an appointment to get something done. You call and make an appointment to sit down with Lorrie, and she asks you all of these things about yourself and what you're wanting to see and what your schedule is like and what kind of downtime
So
you're up
theoretically,
for.
I could say, I want this brown spot. You could say, yeah, that's great. But here's what I would recommend as a priority, and you'll get a better overall whatever.
Yes, I would definitely address anything you're concerned about, but also make general suggestions. So, you might say, well, I'm concerned about, moving on, how my skin ages. And I'd say, well, these are things you could do, and this is how you'd address what's bothering you. And then you make a choice.
Part of the gift of having you here today is that you tease us into asking more questions, right? Because we don't know what we don't know. So it's a treat to have you on. Love to have you come back and share more. I mean, if you two are any indication of good skin, I'm in. Stay with us. A lot more to come here on Carolina Women.